part 2 of our tutorial. We're going to go ahead and start decorating this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the roof and put some of the roof decorations on first. Okay, so on the tutorial, or on the example over there, this is obviously the tutorial. I can totally speak. It's kind of early in the morning for me. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and place these items right here, these little fence gates right there. And then we're going to place some fences right here, across this way, in between these gaps. Okay, just like that. And we're going to do that all over the place. Just like this. Okay, next we're going to place some cobblestone walls on top of these cobblestone blocks right here. And we'll do one there. Kind of connects, but it'll work. And we're going to place all these, and that one, and that one, and that one. And then on top of those, I place torches. This is totally optional. These torches are not really helping to reduce mob spawning, because mobs can't spawn on any of this on the roof, which is kind of nice. But the I think they kind of add a nice little detail on this one. So I'm going to put them. Go. There, there, and there. Okay, so that is the top of the roof there. The next thing I did is I put some buttons on some of the solid plank blocks on the sides of the roof. So let's see if I can pull up some buttons here. Got some different menus, and it looks like I totally did some buttons. Totally forgot to put the buttons in a menu. All right, here we go. So we'll go ahead and go here and grab some of those. Now, if you are playing on 1.13, obviously you have different colors of buttons. So that's going to be nice to just drop a few different colors. I'd probably stick with the oak and the spruce wood buttons, because the dark oak ones probably wouldn't show up very well, and then the other colors might look a little silly. But you can experiment. So I haven't had a chance to experiment with those. I haven't even messed with the snapshots yet. So yeah. Anyway, there we go. And just place a few here and there. I don't like this. See how it's in a line like that? Like, I don't like that. But you can go with whatever you want. Odd numbers tend to work better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty cool. So if I put another one, 6, and then maybe one right here, 7, something like that. That's kind of cool. And then just kind of do this all the way around, wherever you fancy a button. There we go. I just said fancy. That's fancy. Okay, here we go. And as I've said before, like, the more little things you can put on your build that, you know, go along with it, the more detail you put into it, the better it's going to look in the end, and the more impressive it's going to be. Because if you just, you know, use the same color and the same texture on every part of your build, that's when you kind of get builds that don't really look as realistic as they could in Minecraft. But, you know, if you like that style, then go for it. It's completely up to you. Me personally, I just like to do a lot of detail sometimes, unless I'm really busy and don't feel like it. Okay, so that's pretty good. The next major element that we need to take care of before we start getting too crazy is we need to build this, whatever this thing is, the furnace right here, the big old smokestack here. So we're going to go ahead and build that thing, and I'm going to start down here. So it actually goes right here on these blocks here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my stone area, and we're just going to go ahead and place some blocks. So that's going to go like this, and I'll probably do like that in the front, and then just, you know, the same kind of thing that we've been doing on those portions, just kind of, you know, mix up some blocks here. And I'm going to leave a space of 2 right there to put some, let's see if I have it in my inventory right now, or in one of these menus. Yeah, right here you can put a couple of magma blocks right here, and then we'll mess with that in a little bit. Is that how I did it? Let me just take a look. That is not how it goes. Let me start this. Okay, so it's going to go like that. Okay, and then right here we've got a, what am I doing that for? Right here we've got, there we go, just some moss. So remember, I like to put the moss kind of at the bottom, and that just tends to like work really well. Okay, maybe a stone block there, maybe another one of those there, and they're just going to kind of build this up, you know, just go up as you go. And then we're going to build a space right here. So I'm just going to cover over that, maybe something like that. Or you could put like a cracked one here, something like that. That kind of looks cool. And then just kind of as you feel, not as you feel, but as you're looking at it, just kind of disperse some of these interesting different kinds of blocks around as you go upwards. There's really nothing to it. There's no secret science. You just kind of put stuff where you think it should go. And then every once in a while, I'll take a look back and be like, okay, how's this going? Does it look like varied enough? That's a good question. I don't like this block for some reason. There we go. Now I don't like that block. There we go. Okay. Something like that. I don't know. All right. Now, remember how I said that we built this over the top just for reference? So we're going to break this back out, these 6 blocks right there. Okay? Because this is going to come up right through here, and we don't want that to cover over. Yeah, we want all stone in here, especially if you're building this in survival with fire spreads. This will actually, you won't have to worry about fire spreading on this, but you have to build it so that all of these are stone blocks. And if you want to, you could put like a block right there. It's totally fine, but I'm going to leave mine open. Doesn't really affect the fire spreading either way. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to keep coming up like this. Sometimes it's easier, like in survival, it's not going to be easier to do this, but in creative mode, it's easier to just pick one single block, get the height that you want, and then start replacing them in creative mode. In survival mode, it's much easier to build a block at a time because you're like standing on the blocks that you have, and then pillaring up to like change. Let's say I wanted to change this block right here. Well, pillaring up to change that, that's kind of annoying. So, of course, then, but in creative mode, it's just so much faster to do it this way. So I'm going to just kind of speed this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then I built it up to the height of this right here. So that's what you should do. And then right here we're going to start, oops, that's the wrong block. Okay. And then right here we're going to place these around as some stair blocks. So you're going to go and fill around those. And then you fill in these corners with the corner style stair like that. Okay. And then we're going to take it up, 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 up. And we can place a block right there and just go straight up. Like I said, it doesn't make sense to have the moss bricks up high. Okay, so something like that, and then I don't even know how many blocks I went up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do one more, 7. I like odd numbers for some reason. There we go. And then we need to get some cobblestone wall. I'm gonna put like 1, 2, and 3 of those, and then on the very top goes a what did I put on the top there? A cobblestone slab. So let me pull one of those out real quick. Cobblestone slab, where are you? There you are. Our friend, the cobblestone slab. There he is. Okay, right there. All right, and then we'll do the smoke later. All right. So then just start replacing some blocks. So I'm going to put one there, and then maybe there's a cracked one there. That kind of looks good. Maybe right here we've got one of those. And then right here, place an andesite, maybe, something like that. All right. Then we're going to go back into our inventory. I got to pull back out those cobblestone stairs, because like right in here, we're going to replace a few of these with some cobblestone. Now remember, don't make a pattern, so like don't just replace all of like the corners with this. Okay, that would be kind of silly looking. You want to do it so that things look a little bit just messy. Okay, that's kind of the style of this period of architecture, is that they would just use whatever they could find, and maybe some things have crumbled over time kind of stuff, so just kind of make it look messy. Like, see, even that's a little bit too patterny for me, so let's go with that maybe. Oh, that kind of actually looks cool, but like that. Okay, cool. And then just going down, you know, you're just going to kind of replace some blocks here and there. These stone blocks actually look really cool on this for some reason, like that. So maybe I'm going to start with a few of these. Oops. Put a few of these in like this. Maybe one there. And then we're going to go to like a different one. Maybe a little bit of cobblestone here and there. Maybe one there. Maybe one there. Maybe, how about one here? And one there. That's going to look funny to me for some reason right there. Okay, and I'm just, you know, it's just, there's no like rhyme or reason to where I'm putting stuff. I'm just trying to spread it out and make it so that it, to my eye, it looks nice. So it's kind of something that you might have to practice a little bit to kind of get like, oh, that didn't work, and then this does work. So like I said, I've said before, like diagonals like this like work really well. So like if I have two blocks that are next to each other as a diagonal, that works better than say doing like that going sideways. But even that, I mean, it's fine, right? Like I actually like that. So there's no like predefined way to do it. But what you don't want to do is maybe like vertical lines. Like you don't want to turn it into like stripes or something where like you've got like a stripe, you know, like completely vertical stripe or something. So that'd be silly. All right, and then we're going to just keep doing this. I'm going to put in some polished andesite. And you don't have to use quite so many blocks like this. Like you can still create the effect without all of the different types that I'm using. So like in survival, if you just don't have something, like you didn't have, all these blocks are pretty easy to get actually in survival. Maybe the smooth stone is a little tricky to get, but even that you can cook it in a furnace, right? So that's not a big deal. Okay, so that's getting the effect that I'm looking for. And then right here, I don't like this, how it's going like that, because what I want to do is kind of have moss like it's growing up the thing. So I said don't do things in groups, but the exception to me is this moss, because I'm trying to create the illusion that moss is growing up the chimney. So it doesn't make sense to then replace like some blocks in the middle with non-moss. And then of course if you're on 1.13 and you have access to the moss cobblestone, mixing that in might work really well too. I don't know if that'll work because yeah, I don't have those blocks. So anyway, then what I did right here is I switched this block and changed it that way. So the stair, I changed it that way, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a kind of like a foundation here. So I'm just going to kind of put some of these around, mixing up cobblestone stairs with regular stone stairs, and like that, or stone brick stairs, I should say. And if you have access to these right here, the stone stairs that are supposed to come out at some point, great, use those. Those would be cool. Okay, so that's our chimney done. We'll do the smoke later. It's probably the last thing we'll do. Next, what we're going to do is kind of start working on this outside blacksmith area. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to, one of these menus has a flint and steel in it. So flint and steel, we're going to take that and we're going to light that one in the back. And then right here, I love this right here. You're going to place a block like that. And then in the front of this, I'm going to put some, I think I'm going to use all the way across this polished andesite. And look at that. It looks like a forge because you have this narrow space right here. And then you have this right here looks like hot coals. So then it gets the effect really well, I think. Okay. Then down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another mixture of the cobblestone and, the cobblestone and different stone types. So you're just going to dig all of this out and dig out in between the pillars as well. Okay, and you may have noticed I also dug out right here under this door. So I'm going to place an andesite polished block right there because I like to use those in this time period for like a threshold for a door, because there's going to be a door right there so the blacksmith can go from his little store, which is in there, I can't get through there for some reason, and his actual work area here. Okay, and then you're just going to spread blocks around, blah blah blah. You're going to spread blocks around, not those, these, maybe some of these. Again, in creative mode, it's going to be easier to just choose a block and then smash it out, just the whole thing. So that's what I'm going to do. But if you're in survival, then it's easier to place them as you go and then change one or two here and there rather than, I hope that's making sense. Right, so like in survival, I would actually do the detail pattern that I'm going to do while I'm putting the blocks down. But in creative mode, it's so much faster to do it this way for some reason. Okay, right here, let's see, I kind of want to have some more solidy looking blocks, just because this is where the blacksmith might do the majority of his work. And so then maybe that has worn away kind of the cracks or the detail in the ground, and then maybe over here like some cobblestone. Maybe it's kind of gotten so worn that it's turned into kind of like a gravel almost. And then right here. Oh, by the way, gravel actually would work well in this. I haven't been using gravel, but you could mix some gravel in. Maybe some cracked stone bricks out here. Maybe the forge has gotten really hot and it has kind of cracked some of these. I don't know, just kind of make up stories as you go along. Like, this is what happened over time to this particular building. Maybe a little bit of moss stone, like kind of on these exterior portions here and there, and maybe one there. And actually, if I put one there, that would look cool, and then maybe a cracked right there. There we go. And then maybe a mossy one here, like that. The reason I put that one there is because we've got moss going up this way, and so then it kind of looks like, oh, look, moss is growing around. So it's too bad we don't have mossy stone stairs, but whatever. Okay, yeah, that's starting to look good. Maybe a little bit more of this. Just keep replacing a few of these until you're happy with it. Just keep replacing. For the floor, I really like the regular andesite blocks. I don't even think I put any of those in here. Yeah, I didn't. Oh well. This andesite block here, the non-polished andesite, looks kind of cool too. Looks like it's kind of gone to a state of disrepair, if you will. Okay. There we go. So that's the floor. And then we only have one choice for going around the outside with a fence. So that's going to be this right here, just the cobblestone wall. So I'm just going to put cobblestone wall all the way across these like this. We have the one single choice. Okay, like that. All right, so this is our blacksmithy area. Then to finish this area off, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take and put an anvil. I have the slightly cracked anvil, but of course if you're in survival mode, a fresh anvil makes sense. And maybe one there, and then we'll fill this full of water. That works well. And then I think I did like one here and one here. So I was thinking like maybe even, that's not what I wanted to do. I was thinking like maybe even there's a blacksmith and his apprentice working here at the same time kind of thing. So maybe to mix things up, put that one that way maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. And then from here, it makes sense to, I think what I did is I put some blocks on this part right here. Even if I didn't do that, like it kind of makes sense to me to kind of fill that in right there so that we have the forge there. Or you could even go like that. I think that's the best. I'm really sorry about this weather changing stuff. I need to figure out how to turn that off or remember how to turn it off. Anyway, so then let me just take a look around, see what we got. Okay, let's see. So then we can add a little bit more detail in here. So see what we have to work with right here. Here we go. So like over here, I put some chests, like maybe the blacksmith has some tools and stuff in there, and maybe one there. And then maybe he's got a little bit of iron just sitting around so that he can have the ability to use the iron in his forge. And then perhaps, what else we got here? We don't need hay particularly. Let's see. There we go. Okay, this is what I wanted. So right here, I put 3 item frames, and then I thought, okay, what would be some tools that the blacksmith might need? Well, he might need a flint and steel to light his forge. He might need a hammer. So I'm going to say that that's a hammer. And then he might also need perhaps this thing to maybe poke his forge or something. Maybe that's like one of those hot pokery things. And then maybe over here he's got a piece that he's working on. Maybe it's a sword. Yeah, maybe it's a sword over here that he's got as a project. Something like that perhaps would work pretty nicely. And there we go. Okay, and then around on these other ones, I did some more. Oh, geez. I hate that. That's bad. Okay. Yeah, maybe he's got some more of these. So I basically put item frames like all over the place just to simulate that there's like things hanging from these different racks that he's working on or projects that he has done or nearly done. Some different, just some different tools that he's using. Maybe he's working on a compass. Maybe he's got some shears. Oh, I remember. I put some shears over here too. So instead of this thing, I put like a pair of shears right here, I think, because For some reason, I feel like this would be a tool that a blacksmith would have. Not like a shear to shear sheet, but like maybe some kind of tongs or something to hold on to the material that he's working with. Okay, I'm kind of rambling on a little bit, but you get the idea. Just sort of fill these in with some different items like that. Okay, and then also like over here, I put a one of these guys, an armor stand, and then I put just a couple pieces of armor on there, like he's sort of in the middle of building some of this stuff. So maybe just like an iron shirt or something. Iron chest plate. That's great. That's great. That's really good. That's really good. Okay. There we go. Let's try this again. Yeah, I think that looks better. There we go. Okay, sweet. So here's kind of the blacksmith's like working area. I think that works really well. All right. Then we're going to come back over here, and I'm going to build the little courtyard. So the courtyard consists of a, so I've got my cobblestone wall, and I came over, I think 3, and then there's a gap, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. And then this comes this way like this. And I completely forgot to replace some of these blocks under here, which we can do in a moment. So underneath these, we'll put in, you know, maybe some different stone and stuff like this as the foundation of the wall. But this is not necessary entirely, I guess. But, you know, whatever. Ah, I knew I was going to do that. I got to switch back over here. Oh, that's probably what's missing is my... Yeah. Okay. I got to come back in here. Hold on a minute. Okay. We're back. All right. So what I did not, what I got rid of on accident earlier was these different blocks here. Yeah. So these menus are super helpful, but for some reason they decided to put the buttons that access the menus like right next to each other, which super annoys me because I'm always hitting the C instead of the X or the X instead of the C. And I just have a hard time with it anyways. There we go. Let's see. So we need to do X, and then the... Oh, I didn't save it! Oh, I'm such a noob. Such a noob. Such a doofus. That is so dumb. Why did I not save it? Come on. All right. Gotta get it all back in there again. My goodness gracious. Okay, let's try this again. C4. Thank you. Okay. All right, there we go. So then I put a fence gate right there, and then, oh, I remember what the other thing was. String, man. Miscellaneous, here we go, string. Right there. Okay, so the reason I have string is because if you place string on top of cobblestone walls, it does that and creates the little wall, like the little connector. Yeah, it does this right here. So that's a nice little trick. You probably know that trick, but it's useful right here to kind of create just a little bit of detail on this wall. Okay, that's nice. Maybe I don't like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, sweet. So then I come in here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace a lot of this with some blocks that I think would work well. So I'm going to put like a few path blocks here, and then like this, maybe coming off that way. Then maybe some going this way, like that. Okay, and then replace some of this with like, I don't know, a little bit of podzol if you have it, and coarse dirt works well. And then one of my favorite things is that right there, and that is brown concrete, and it looks like mud when it's on the ground, and kind of has some stuff around it. It looks to me like mud, so that's why I'm using that, because it works really well for mud. So yeah, I think I said that. All right. There we go. Kind of cool like that. All right. So these are actually going to be all grass blocks here. So underneath this window, we haven't gotten to that part yet, but I'm going to do that real quick. And then actually, you know what? I can, yeah, we'll just put these on right now. Okay. Some trap doors right there. So we're actually going to do this all the way around in a little bit, but I'm just going to do that there so that I have a reference point of where to stop with my decorating of this part. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to do this. Very similar to what we did there, except I'm using dirt blocks and the mud, the concrete, the podzol, some different textures to kind of get the effect that I'm going for. Okay, like that. I got some dirt and and some dirt. I'm going to get rid of most of this grass because I feel like this is a very highly trafficked area where the blacksmith is taking his products and putting them on display, or he's walking through here with raw materials like iron. So this is going to be kind of a heavy trafficked area. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe another one of these here. Something like that. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to put a few of these armor stands in this area to... Can I put one there? No, that's lame. Okay. Just to kind of show off some of the wares of the blacksmith some more. Okay, so then we're going to come in here, and I'm going to go to X, 5, one of my menus. Do I have the same thing in 2 menus? No, I just tapped the same button twice. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of fill these up with some various irony looking products. That maybe we got something like that, or maybe this one's all chain, all the mail like that. That's kind of cool. And then maybe this one is, I don't like it that when you try to break the, maybe I'm doing that wrong. Okay, I always like break the armor stand somehow. I don't know what I'm doing wrong on that. Okay, this one here, I'm going to do that, and then an iron helmet and feet. So just notice that I'm making these a little bit different. Like the blacksmith is showing off some different types of armor sets, but blacksmiths probably wouldn't work in diamond, but you could go with diamond stuff. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. It's just personal preference for how you want the blacksmith to be. All right, so then maybe a few more of these with some more stuff on it. I'm going to do those, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I wanted to replace a couple of these with a bit of mud, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and put like a piece of cobblestone maybe there, and then maybe one there, and one there, and maybe one there, just to kind of tie in the blacksmith's area to the path a little bit better, and maybe even one there, perhaps one there, just to kind of add just a little bit more tie-in so that it doesn't look like this is the dirt area and that is the stone area. I wanted to make a little bit better transition, maybe one in there. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, very cool. So the next thing that we're going to do, that's the blacksmith's area. So we're going to go ahead and come out here and decorate the exterior of the house. I know this tutorial is getting a little bit long. I'm hoping that it's good for you and you're learning a lot of stuff, a lot of these little techniques. I'm not using any technique that is like new to me or that like I invented. So I'm just using techniques that I've learned from watching different people. Specifically, gosh, I don't even know who. Probably Good Times with Scar is kind of the best at doing this kind of stuff, the detail-y stuff. But also like Lord Dakar, D-A-K-R, I think, does a lot of this kind of stuff. And there's another one, what's her name? False Symmetry does a lot of this kind of stuff. Yeah, so some different YouTubers that you could check out that do this sort of thing. But I've learned a lot from watching their videos and just kind of showing you all their different techniques all at once. So it's kind of my goal. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and go all the way around the building with some grass like that. You could also use a bit of podzol here and there. I'm going to go just all grass because that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so all the way around like this, all the way around like that. Okay, and then perhaps, see if I even have it out. No. Perhaps here and there you could do a little bit of this. I kind of forgot to put this in my inventory. But just here and there, maybe like some oak leaves, like this. Here and there. Not too much of this, but a little bit. You know, as though these were like little plants that are kind of growing on that grass. Or not little plants, but rather the larger plants, I should say. Okay, maybe in here. One, and then maybe a couple there. Maybe that's too much here. Okay, and then what I like to do is just hit this with bone meal. There you go. Now some people hate the flowers. You can break the flowers if you want, but I kind of like the flowers, so I'm going to leave the flowers. And it's totally fine if the bone meal activates, stuff down here. What I don't like is I don't like the grass in front of the window. For some reason, like I don't like it how it's covering the window. So I'd much rather have a flower there if it'll do it, or just have it be blank. But sometimes I'll leave it like just to create that look of variation, right, that we're trying to go for. Give me a flower. There we go. Okay. Like maybe I'll leave it right there because it's on the back. Okay. Something like that. Very cool. Then next what you're going to do is you're going to take some trapdoors and you're going to place trapdoors here. Now I only have access to the standard oak trapdoors. I guess these are going to be the oak ones. But if you're playing on 113 or higher, then you're going to have to experiment with which trapdoors would work well. I think from looking at the tutorials, the spruce ones would work really nice because they would match the door. And then also they have full coverage so you can't see it in any of the dirt. And then the dark oak ones would also look nice as well. Either one of those I think would be okay. But I don't know, I'm just kind of guessing because I haven't messed with that snapshot. Okay, there we go. So I went all the way around with that. And that's looking pretty good to me, looking pretty good. Okay, the next thing that I like to do is put a stone button at the end of each one of these. And again, if you're on 1.13, you could maybe choose a different button that you think will looks good. But I like the stone ones because it's the one that to me simulates a nail the best. So I'm thinking like, okay, you could put a nail on the end of each one of those. And you could go totally crazy with these things and put, you know, do that kind of thing and just put buttons all over the place. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go in the ends here because I've also got some fence that I'm going to put in. Okay, don't forget these portions here. And looks like I forgot a block here. So basically wherever there's an intersection, I placed one of these blocks like that. And what I mean by an intersection is where like a horizontal crosses a vertical. Okay, and then we'll put that right there. And we're just going to do this all the way around. Make sure every single one of these has a button. All right, I think it's looking really good so far. Next, what we're going to do is I put on the example, I put some fence. And I'm using oak wood fence, just regular oak wood fence. The reason I'm using oak wood is because it has a little bit brighter texture, but it's not as bright as birch. And it's going to make this stand out. I'm going to have to break that button there. So what I'm doing is that I'm putting it on the left and right hand sides of each of these. Now, if you want to get really crazy, sometimes people will put, and like I said, Lord Dacker does this all the time, we'll put a fence gate in the middle. So, but right now, because I'm on 1.12, you have to put a block like that, and then take and put a fence gate. Of course, that's under redstone. Oops. Am I done with that? No, I am done with the doors for the moment, though. Okay, and then open it up like that. So that looks also very, very cool. But I didn't do that on the example, so I'm not going to do that here. But I think that looks great as well. Okay. And then right here and here and here and there. And then what I did between these is I put oak just going right up these beams right here. And I think I did it here as well on the corners. And like that. And then right there and right there. And then like this. All the way around. Did I? I don't even know. That's cool. That'll work. One there, one there. One here, one here, one here. One there. One there. You get the idea. Everywhere. Everywhere. Like that. Okay. All the way around the build. And I really like what happens at the top, how it kind of has that double cross thing at the top. I like that. Of course, there's nothing I can do about it if I didn't like it. So, and one more spot right here. Okay, that's the end of part 2. On to part 3.